Alright, for the second video I'm going to introduce you to a very powerful modeling tool called Extrude, which you'll be using quite a bit in the course of your modeling career here. So I'm going to start off just to show you what Extrude does. I'm going to start off with a plane. I'm going to make this in the front view, so it's standing up here. And now I just have a simple two-dimensional plane, completely flat, no thickness to it. And usually you want to avoid planes if you can, because they have no thickness, they don't exist in the real world, so they can be kind of confusing. They can be great for certain applications like ground or something like that, or anything that the audience won't be able to see around them, but they'll be perfect for what we're doing right now. So I'm going to show you Extrude. So I've got my polygon made here, and I'm going to go into edge mode, face mode, right here. And then I'm going to select the front face there, the only face, and I'm going to use the extrude command. Here's the picture for it right here. You can just click on that. And it doesn't look like anything happened or changed, but we do have this interesting manipulator here. Before I move anything, I'll tell you what the extrude command does. It basically creates 5 new faces attached to the face that you select, and I'll show you how that works. So watch what happens when I move this manipulator. It's basically got the scale, rotation, and move key all rolled into one. So I'll grab the blue arrow and drag this out, and I now have, like I said, 5 new faces. So here's the original face, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. So a total of 5. Actually, that's the original face back there. I lied. This is a new one, but it looks like the original one. So it creates 5 new faces. Let me show you that again. Undo a couple times. Alright, so we go face mode, select the front face, hit the extrude key, pull it out, and we have 5 new faces added. Now I'm going to undo that a few times, and I want to show you an important thing that you want to get familiar with. It's called the heads-up display, or HUD, for all of you video game nerds out there. Here we go. And I want you to turn on the poly count option for your heads-up display. And that'll give you this readout here, and it tells you information about the scene and also what you have selected. And so right now we have nothing selected, so it's all set to 0. But watch what happens when I click on, take face mode, click on face. Now it says you have 1 face selected, and there's only 1 face in the scene. And you just want to get used to paying attention to your verts, edges, and faces to make sure. It's very easy to accidentally add a face somewhere where you didn't want to in component modeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit extrude, and before I do anything, watch what happens to the readout. It says you now have 6 faces, because 1 plus 5 is 6, and only 1 of those faces is selected. And interestingly enough, it doesn't look like we have 6 faces in the scene. It just looks like we have 1 face in the scene, and that's what I want you guys to watch out for. You want to make sure that you don't accidentally keep hitting extrude and screwing yourself up. So now that I know that I've got 6 there, all I have to do is move this out, and now I can see all of my faces. Alright, I'm going to do another extrude here. Click. And instead of using the move arrows, I'm going to click on one of the scale arrows. Doesn't matter which one. I'm not going to scale it though. I just click on it. And when I do that, it gives me this little blue, light blue box in the middle of the manipulator. And that means I can do a scale on this. So I'm going to scale this down like that. And so it stayed flat, and we're in good shape. Alright, so now I'm going to do another extrude, but now I'll pull this out. And let's see, I could do another extrude, click, scale, and do another extrude, maybe push that in. I'll turn the grid off, you might be able to see better. So now we have this kind of recessed box. I'll do another extrude, maybe scale that, and do another extrude, punch that back out. So you can get some pretty interesting shapes going on at this point. Oh, what the heck, one more. Here we go. Extrude. Maybe scale it out this way. Extrude. Pull that out that way. Yeah, so you get the idea there. So what I'll do now is show you an interesting option that you have that'll get you some sense of how we're going to use this to create organic models. If you just click 2 on your keyboard, we get what we call a proxy, or a smooth version of our blocky object. And the blocky object is still there. You can see it, the light blue lines. And that's what we call our Polygon Cage. And so watch what happens to this soft object when I'm going to go to vertex mode now. And I'm going to pull one of these vertices and drag it up. And it stretches, it pulls on that cage. And I can grab a whole cross section of these vertices there, and I could scale them down, and then that would affect the whole soft object inside. So the Polygon Cage manipulates the soft object inside. And this is going to be one of the main ways we approach doing some organic modeling. And you can see how it rounded everything off. And to go back to my original cubic object, I just hit 1, and I'm back to the original. And we'll be talking more about that later. A couple other very quick things to show you, tools you'll be using a lot. These are under Edit Mesh, so there's Extrude up there. Edit Mesh Extrude. You'll also be using the the Insert Edge Loop tool. And what that does is it selects an edge loop as any continuous set of edges of polygons. So watch what happens. I'll choose Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, and click in the middle here, and it just cut in some more detail there for me. And I can cut in some more detail here, and I can cut in some more detail here. And so now I have a more complicated model, so I could start doing kind of some fine-tuning onto this if I wanted to. Now, one warning is you don't want to start adding detail too early. It can really screw your model up. I wouldn't probably cut this all up like this because I don't particularly need it at this point. But for something here, this would be perfect. Adding that edge ring that I added right here would be perfect if I wanted to do a more refined kind of adjustment on this object. So I wanted to keep this kind of bulbous part here, but have narrowing here. So if you need to cut detail in, that's the way you do it. So hit 1 to come back. And just one more time, I'll do that. Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, I'll add one here. 3 to get to my wireframe. And then I can, select these here and scale those down. Or scale them out. Add a bulge there. So, and 1 to come back to the cube object. So that's extruding and adding edge rings. 2 very important concepts for the modeling we're going to be doing in here as we go.